Hey, room 29. I realized that the video I made the other day for place value with our anchor chart that I made was pretty long. So I wanted to make a quicker video in case you needed a quicker summary of it all. So here goes. So we are learning about place value. And when we're talking about place value, we're going to go up to 6 digits of place value. So those 6 places that we're going to go, we divide it here. We have our 6 digits. The first place is the ones place. Then we have the tens place. Then we have the hundreds place. After the hundreds, we have our thousands place. I would write that with yellow, but it's not going to show up on paper. So I'm just going to write it with pen and black, and then I'll highlight it later. Another option is you can just take your a yellow colored pencil or a crayon and just color over it to make it stick out a little bit. After thousands, we have 10,000s. And then finally, we have 100,000s. So with place value, I know you've done all the way up to thousands before, but I just want to remind you, these 3 digits here, hundreds, tens, ones, those are one place. And then we're going to put a comma here to show that these are up to hundreds, and then these are amounts in the thousands overall. So I'm just going to use a number. I'm going to assign a number here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to color code these just to help me remember which is which. So I'm just going to quickly shade over. There's my hundreds, thousands place, 10,000s place, my thousands place, my hundreds place, my tens place, and my ones place I leave white. So from there, we're going to talk about ways to show these numbers. So the first way that we can show a number is in standard form. Standard form just means the way that we normally write a number, the way that you normally see it written on paper. So for this digit, this whole number here, it says the number 645,124. Just write it out like that. Make sure you have that comma there, like I do here, to show after the thousands. The next type of form we have to show our numbers is word form. So for word form, let me separate these to help you see a little bit better. So word form, this is 645,000. Look at this whole number right here. 645,124. $645,000, comma, because we're ending the thousands, 124. If you have your blue ring of number facts and information from your math toolkit, that would be a great tool to be using to help you with this. After word form, we have our base 10, or we can also call it place value form. I'm going to show it with place value discs. So the way I do this is we're going to divide this into 6 columns: 100,000s, 10,000s, thousands, hundreds, tens, ones. So I have 600,000s. If you can fit that in there, great. I'm not going to go through all that right now just because of time, but 100,000, 100,000, and so on. Then we have 4 10,000s, so I'm going to draw those. $10,000 each. Then we have our thousands, and that's 5 of them. It might be hard to see those, but that's why you can always go over it, draw it first in pencil, and then highlight it afterwards if you want. Then we have our hundreds. With our hundreds, we only have 1. So we're just going to draw 1. Then we have our tens. We have 2 tens. So 2 tens discs. They're each worth 10. And then we have our ones. And we have 4 ones discs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each of them worth 1. So you can show it this way. I know I showed the other day going sideways. That works too. But when we have our place value mat, you'll see it that way. The final way is our expanded form. So for expanded form, we look at the value of each place value. Normally with place value, we go from the right to the left. With expanded form, though, we go from left to right. So 6 100,000s, if we were to count all of these together, would be 600,000. Because I have 6 of them, and each one is worth 100,000. If you know how to count by 100, you can count by 100,000. 600,000 plus, now I move to my 10,000. So I have 4 of them. 10, 20, 30, 40,000. And my thousands, I have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thousands, because each one is worth 1,000. It's 5,000. It might be hard for you to see that. If you can't see that, you can write it in pen and then always go over it later, or pencil, like I'm going to do right now, and then highlight it with yellow. A crayon or colored pencil works great for that too, to help it stick out a little bit. So we have 600,000 plus 40,000 plus 5,000. Now we move to the hundreds. There is one group of 100, one disc of 100. That makes 100. Then we move to our tens. I have 2 groups of 10. 2 tens equals 20. Because we know to count by tens, 10, 20. Finally, we move to our ones. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 ones. And if each one is worth 1, that gives me 4. Normally, you would write it all in one long string, 600,000 plus 40,000 plus 5,000 plus 10, 100 plus 20 plus 4, but I didn't have space here, so that's why I went over that way. Anyway, this is the chart that you should have copied the other day. If you already did it, awesome. If you didn't, hopefully this helps you get it in a little quicker. Anyway, I hope this is helpful for you. This will be something you keep in your green math notebook after you've copied it down, because it's going to help you throughout our year in math. Hope you have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions.